we're going to finish up motorizing our kayak, the Recon 120. And this video is going to be all about foot steering and, well, out with the old and in with the new. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. Welcome back, guys. It is good to have you back. Like I said in the opening, we are going to be finishing up the rest of our install, motorizing this kayak, and that's going to be with the foot steering. Now, there were two companies that I had reached out to, Sea Dog and Select, neither of which got back to me, and I'm almost kind of glad that they didn't, because I much rather go the route that I ended up going. Now, somebody in my last video in the comments had left a message saying, hey, check out this guy's videos. I'll tag him in the description. I believe he goes by the name of Kayak Life, and man, his videos are awesome. He does a lot of in-depth builds on this and talking about how he's making the whole setup better and better. But guys, I have to tell you, I am impressed with this so far. So I'm going to show you what I did so far. I'm going to show you how I did it. The removal process of the old foot pedals, not a big deal, and it's an easy process. So stick along and we'll show you this build and we'll finish this up. Okay, guys, so the removal process of your old footrest is very, very simple. And it's only 2 screws, and I'll take you in and show you what that looks like. Here you can see the 2 holes here. The footrest here is already removed. You have 2 bolts. One, there's a threaded insert in here, in which this one just will go into. And then on the other side, you just have a hole drilled, and you actually have a washer with a nut behind that, in which you can reach through right in here, right through your hatch. So easy removal. You just have 2 bolts and this old footrest is done. You no longer need that. You're going to need 3 parts. One is going to be an aluminum channel here. Now this is called 2020 T-slot or V-slot. There's 2 different variations you can get. Either one will work. And this is just aluminum extrusion channel is what it's called, and I'll link it down in the description for you guys. And for 4 pieces of this, I want to say it's like 15 3/4 inches long. For 4 pieces of it, it's less than $20. So you're going to need 2 of them. You're also going to need this gantry plate, which has 4 wheels on it. Now that's what's just going to ride on top of that channel, and then after that, only thing you need left is a motorcycle peg here. Then you get 2 of them. So these gantry plates with the 4 wheels on them, again, less than, I want to say they were maybe $14, something like that. For 2 of them, you need 2. And then the foot pegs, I want to say they're anywhere from like $10 to $15 themselves, maybe even a little bit more expensive if you want, you know, other colors or specific ones, but nothing crazy. So altogether, really, it's like a $50 setup, so you can't beat it. And I'm telling you, super smooth. So I'll take you in, I'll show you what it looks like on here put together and mounted on the kayak. So there it is. You can see it installed. And guys, like I said, look, 1 finger, you can move this around. That's how smooth that is. So first step was I just took a piece of painter's tape and I just put it along the length here of where the old footrest was, and I just marked where the first hole was and the rear hole. So the front hole and the rear hole, I just marked where they were. I just took that tape, peeled it off of the kayak, put it on top of this channel here, you can see there, and I marked where I need to drill those holes. And now you just align those holes right in where the channel is, right in the middle of it. So now we just have to drill that out. We drilled 1/4 inch holes where we had the tape, they should line up absolutely perfectly with this. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is this is not necessary, but I did it. I had some like rubber washers that I'm just going to install between the track and my kayak, just for vibration purposes. I don't think it's actually necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe quieten it down a little bit. So we will use the existing hardware that you had for your foot pedals here. The good thing about this too is if you did make a mistake and for some reason this track didn't line up for you, well, guess what? You still have 2 more that you can mess up on. So, not that you're going to mess up. This is a super easy install. All right, so we got the bolts in here. I'm just going to take my 7/16 inch wrench. I'm going to get onto the nut from the back side of here through the hatch, and we're just going to tighten this front bolt up. All right, that one's nice and tight. And now before I forget, we're going to need to remove this front nut. There's not enough space, which is actually pretty good. It'll act as a stop so that you don't actually come back too far and your pedal comes off while you're tilting your motor, steering, whatever. Let's talk about this gantry plate for a second. You need to drill a hole. You don't have to necessarily. You can actually put this peg, motorcycle peg, into the middle of this and you can mount it there. I am opting to move the peg up higher, so I'm going to drill my own hole. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to bring you in close and show you what I mean. So here you have our gantry plate, right? You've got your wheels on this side. Now, if you need to make adjustments too, you can take this front nut here and you can loosen that up a little bit. And then you have these little Allen keys in the back. Let me lock in, focus on here. You have these little Allen keys in the back here that you can loosen that up along with this nut, and that's going to allow you to adjust these top rollers here up and down, just so that they fit a little bit easier on those rails, and they'll slide back and forth much easier. So you need to make a little adjustment to these. These on the bottom here are pretty much fixed. I wouldn't really mess with them. These 2 top ones have like nuts on them. The bottom ones have like a round bushing. Now you have 2 slots, one on each side of these gantry plates here. Now that's for when you mount it. You can actually get your line that's going to go from your motor and just go through there. So this was the hole I drilled right here. Now these foot pegs do come with a 2 sets of bolts. One is shorter and one of them's longer. So you're going to need the shorter of the 2 bolts. Like I said, I'll link everything down in my description, but you're going to need to drill a hole. And now you can see here, I just kind of drilled it between the existing hole that was here and the edge of the plate itself. So that's what the hole we have here. Here is what I was talking about, 2 different size bolts. We're going to go with the shorter of the 2. And now this is going to fit right through the hole that we drilled. That hole that we drilled is a 5/16 inch hole. That's what will fit through here. So now we take our motorcycle peg. We get this lined up how we want it. And we just install it. Easier said than done when I'm trying to stand behind the camera and do this for you guys, but we're going to just tighten this up. There we go. Get it nice and straight like that. And then I just take the Allen key, hold it all together, and just tighten that up solid. Now, once this goes on the track, we slide it on. We want this folding part of the peg to not go the way I installed it. So all we have to do is loosen this up. We're going to just tighten this up. And when we do this, the great thing is now you have a foldable motorcycle peg, which is going to sit like this on that track. And when we're not using it, we could just flip them out of the way and we have more space. Flip it out when we need it, and that's it. So we're going to slide this onto our track. We're going to remove that screw here that we started out of the way. We are going to slide our peg on and our plate. You can see we got to move it nice and freely right there. And then we can get this tightened up. That's it. Okay, so that's going to be it for installing the actual tracks along with the plates and the pedals. You can see it moves back and forth very easy. Again, one finger. You can tilt these in and they're out of the way. Now, we need to connect the lines. Now, I'll show you in the back of the motor what I did. I have just for now run my line straight through just under these carabiners right now that go onto the steering triangle. But I am not sure these are the clips that I'm going to use 100% for these, because when I do tilt this motor, you can see these clips are going to hit pretty quickly in there. I don't know if you can see that, but the motor is turned at a decent angle, but I want to maybe increase that turning radius a little bit. So now what I've done is I've tilted the motor up, because obviously as you tilt the motor up, that is going to pull this line in towards the back of the motor. So what I want to do here is I just want to run this line through the gantry plate here. If I can get this through, there we go. And what I want to do for now is pull this about as far back as I can. So basically what I'm saying is, and the reason why I'm doing this is because once the motor comes down, we are going to have this line, which is going to be able to move up a lot further on these rails. When you tilt the motor, obviously it's going to pull these pegs back. So I want to make sure that it's going to stop somewhere before it hits back here. So I'm just, for now, again, I don't know what I'm going to do with those clips just yet. So for now, I am just going to tie a knot in this just so I can show you guys how this works. But we're going to tie a knot in that like so. Now, I am going to do the other side. Okay, so I have both sides done, motor tilted. You can see they're stopped pretty evenly. Now, how this is going to work. So, obviously, we have the lines connected here on this peg here, on that one, and when we push one forward to turn the kayak, the other one should go backwards. And same thing with this side. When we pull this one forward, this one should go backwards. Just like that. So, yes, it works. All right. So, we'll get this thing straightened out. Now, I also want to show you what's going to happen when we tilt this motor up. So when we grab this handle here to release our lock, I'll show you where the pegs go. They're obviously going to pull straight back, and they are going to be pretty much bottomed out at that point. When we let our kayak, when we let the motor back down, you'll have to play to bring these back even again. Now, the motor right now is uneven, so as soon as we straighten the motor out, you'll see these pegs are basically lined up again with each other. So again, guys, not really a difficult install. And actually, I want to say these things are going to be so much nicer than the ones that you could buy anyway from Select or Sea Dog. Easy installation. I showed you guys. Not bad at all. It's going to be very reliable and super smooth. I've heard some complaints about people with the regular Select Sea Dog ones. You know, this is just seems to be the route that is more reliable, like I said, and just a lot more smooth. It's a lot more, I mean, you're talking metal parts instead of plastic, so that always makes a big difference, but not bad at all. For about 50 bucks, you're gonna have custom foot steering that is just gonna blow away the plastic version. It's gonna be a lot smoother. Now, what I will say is this is probably gonna be more for a freshwater application. For saltwater, it probably is fine. You just would want to, you know, rinse off any of this stuff. And not that the aluminum's going to really kind of have a problem, but those wheels with those bearings might. So you might want to just make sure they're rinsed off, maybe lube them up a little bit. But other than that, nothing to really worry about. And like I said, I'm going to figure out the part just to make kind of a like a line guide for them. But other than that, this part of this is going to be pretty much complete. I'm going to add some different clips in the back, but that shouldn't be a big deal. I just haven't figured out exactly what I want to use yet, but now I'm getting real excited because now the kayak is getting close to being finished. I've got the motor all installed. I got videos on them. You guys can check them out. This custom foot steering, can't beat it. Guys, I'm telling you, watch his videos. I'll try to link him in the description, but he goes by Kayak Life, and it's Kayacht Life. Yeah, excellent videos that he has, very in-depth on this foot steering. So check them out, check him out. I will link my previous video of everything we did before this point in the bottom here. And yeah, that's about it. So guys, thanks for watching. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and the feedback that I've been getting from you guys. I really appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, just helps my algorithm. And guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.